What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy from Budget Dad Barbecue and Brewing, coming back at you with a Tapache update. This is the Tapache that we fermented for 2 weeks with bread yeast, if you saw the last video. My mother-in-law, Delia, speaking with her, she said, why don't you go ahead and put it back down in the basement and let it age for another week, see how it tastes. Well, my friends, today is the day. It has been another week. Let's try it out. This is cleared up nicely. In the basement, it's a little bit cooler. It runs about 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius. You see that some of the sediment has settled down to the bottom. It's not wispy at all. It's pretty nice, actually. Let's try it. No carbonation. As my mother-in-law said before, it's got to have ice. I kind of want to try it without ice, but I know that that's not staying true to the Tepache custom, although have I stayed true to the Tepache custom at all by brewing this? I haven't. In any case, let's check it out. Nice and clear on that rock. Smells about the same from last time, actually. Maybe a little bit less alcoholic. It's chilled out a little bit. It's smoother. It's still held up really well. Considering a lot of videos out there are saying 2-3 days. Again, that's kind of a different drink than what we've made here. We've made really the equivalent to a pineapple wine versus a probiotic 2 to 3 day fermentation Tapache. So I recognize that when we say Tapache, this is very different than your typical recipes you're seeing out there on YouTube. I would say that extra week downstairs in the basement helped let go of some of that initial booziness when the first time we went ahead and took this off. I can taste more of the rind now than I could before, which is really interesting. Before it was like a really sharp, fresh citrusy, and now it's hard to explain, but I know for those of you who have taken a pineapple and chopped it up, and there's that difference to the rind there. It almost has a woody type of a smell to it. Well, that's coming through now in the taste of this Tapache, whereas a week ago it was very almost like an acidic, fruit-forward sort of taste, where now it's mellowing out. I'm smelling sort of the rind and sort of the woodiness to it. That's all I could really describe it as. So that's really cool that that's coming through now. We're gonna put this back. I think this is really good. I'm pleased with the outcome, but I want to see what happens to it. On Amazon, I picked up this bottle of wine preserver. I think this is argon gas. It's safe, it's not going to get into the liquid, but what I think it is it's gas that is heavy and it sits down at the bottom and doesn't allow exposure to the air, to oxygen. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take this Tapache bottle. I'm going to put it back downstairs in the basement. We're going to let it age for another week and see what happens. I'm excited to see how this changes, if it does change anymore. I'll take you along with me. We'll see you then. This little bad boy's been downstairs in my basement for an additional week, so let's go ahead and give it a try. First things first, what I do notice, or what I think I noticed, we'll have to look at the other videos, but I think it looks almost darker. It's got more of an amber color, and I feel like it was a lot lighter during the initial bottling. It had a little bit of air on there. Let's give it a little pour on the rocks. So this is interesting. Last week I tried it, and remember I told you that more of the sort of core and the rind was coming through. I feel like that's chilled out a little bit this time, and now it's almost balancing out. It smells almost sweeter. Oh, it's got it developed kind of like a light tartness, but not bad. It's not sour. It's not like it's spoiled or lactobacillus or anything like that got in it. It just has this really nice, really subtle tartness. Wow. I feel like it's smoothed out. This is really good. This is better than last week. It definitely tastes more mature than last week. Last week, it was still good. This entire process, right? I think it was drinkable right off the get-go. Last week was super interesting with that rind coming out. Now we are at 2 weeks of aging downstairs in the basement, and it's even better. Straight up, you guys. This is solid. This is really good. If you're a wine drinker, if you like fruit wines, I mean, I grew up drinking things like Boone's Farm and, you know, sort of really cheap $3 sort of wines. So I've always had this affinity for like strawberry wines and berry wines and flavored wines, but that was just real crap, the stuff that we used to drink, and a ton of artificial. There's not one artificial thing in this drink. This is completely 100% natural. I would recommend this. Go ahead and check this out yourself if you have a chance to do it. Make it your own. Add some different things. Tamarind, different fruits perhaps. Maybe clove. You know, clove is pretty typical in Tepache. I decided not to do clove this time around, but hey, maybe that might not be too bad. Just one small clove so it's not super overpowering. But maybe you're like a total clove head and you want to put 50 of them in there. You know, sky's the limit, right? All right, everybody. Well, thank you again for hanging out with me. I hope this was helpful, knowing that we can take this and age this for another week, and with age, this wine gets finer. So if you liked this video, if you thought this was helpful, if you learned anything, if you were semi-entertained, go ahead and click that like button down there, and please subscribe. If not, that's okay. I'm not going to judge you. Hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care.